the fact he's giving his knowledge to this kid and this kid's taking the time to learn says a lot to me. And it sounds like he's got a mindset of that he wants to learn. I love that. He wants to learn, he wants to get better. Now, let me just, I want to give you some numbers that he compiled last Friday. This kid, again, he's out of Bay St. Louis. I consider him a local product. He's from Mississippi. He is a local product because Bay St. Louis is right around the bend there. He's not that highly recruited. But what I like is his ability to be in the pocket, to read defenses, and provide that he just gets stronger and stronger as the games move on. Well, last Friday, okay, he threw a onslaught. 360 yards on 28 of 32. Yes, 28 of 32. 5 TD passes. But here's the kicker to that one. In 3 quarters. 3 quarters. Are you kidding me? 360 yards and 5 touchdowns in 3 quarters? Wow. He now has thrown for 135 touchdowns since his sophomore season. So we're looking at 2 years and 3-4 games? I mean, guys, he looks like he could thrive, obviously, in a fast-paced offense. Now, once again, LSU, Les Miles and Cam Cameron have an opportunity for a young quarterback to come in. I'm hoping this is another situation that LSU has continued to have with quarterbacks leaving. And it brings up a point of, if Miles isn't going to get a guy in here to call plays that are more suited to his receivers and this kid, is it a situation where, if they're not going to do it, we're going to see the same thing over and over again? That's why myself, Jameson Dagleshow, and a lot of other guys I talk to, radio guys around the area, broadcast journalists, those kind of stuff, they see, from this area, they don't think Miles will be here next year. Granted, that depends on what happens in the coming weeks. And I'll tell you this, Miles is playing for his job. Miles is coaching for his job this weekend. I'm going to be honest. I said that yesterday, and I'm going to maintain it. Which begs me to question, would LSU be better off getting a coach in here that is going to call plays, is going to call certain plays that go to a skill set? You can call all these pass plays all you want. But if they're not pass plays that are conducive to what the quarterback's bringing can do, or what their main talents are, then you're getting in here for nothing. There's no reason to bring in a kid where you're not going to be imaginative in offense, where you're not going to throw, say, like a fast-paced offense that throws out of different formations, spreads the ball around. Now, the good thing is we've seen that the last few games with Edling, that he has spread the ball around. But is that Edling or is that the play calling? I personally think it's Edling. They call the plays, he checks down, he looks at what it is, and he dissects it. And he finds who's the best receiver, what is his best option. So I think you're seeing the talent sometimes outweigh the play calling here. So we'll see. I think from a recruiting perspective, they're doing a great job of filling the needs, as I said, getting the right guys here. But if he doesn't play to their strengths, then I don't see Miles sticking around here. He's been here for 12 years, but I think that it's a situation where it's not jiving anymore. So anyway, guys, look, that's my recruiting segment. I appreciate all my listeners. I'm excited about getting these writers and getting these coaches on here to give us information. That way we can really break down these commitments LSU has. And one name I want to throw out there, big time recruit, big time. LSU could be a sleeper in this. It's going to be hard because he's the early favorites are Texas and Oklahoma, but LSU could sneak in there. So you get Marvin Wilson, number 1 D tackle, number 12 overall prospect, 6'4", 320 out of Houston. It's one name to keep an eye on. And I'll definitely bring you information and news the further along I get looking at Marvin Wilson. I'll give you information. Again, going to try to reach out to his coaches and see if I can get them on for an interview. So, let's talk about tonight, guys. We have I'm going to break this down really quick. We have a Clemson-Georgia Tech game. I'm putting Clemson on upset alert. Yes, sir. Clemson has not impressed me against competition that's even keeled to them. Auburn's defense was able to crowd them in the red zone, and they only had 19 points. Troy nearly beat Clemson. I believe it was a 30-24 game. Now, Clemson had a lot of drop passes. They had a lot of drop passes against Troy. The only team they've clicked offensively where everything went right was South Carolina State. But, oh, wow. Who is that? Small school in Orangeburg, South Carolina that is so overmatched. It's ridiculous. Now, how do you beat Clemson? Well, in last year's game, Georgia Tech actually allowed 115 yards to Wayne Gallman, the big-time running back that actually came back to school. Everyone thought that he may go pro. But he got that on 13 carries, so he blew Georgia Tech up. For some reason, Gallman's been absent for the Tigers' offense so far this year. And teams have really, they've surrounded and bottled up Deshaun Watson. The offensive line has been inconsistent this year. The key to beating Clemson is stopping their running game and getting pressure. If you can shut down their running game, you can turn them into one-dimensional. Georgia Tech's best hope tonight is to force Clemson's offense to play finely fine-tuned football, giving Clemson to turn to their ground and pound. If they get Clemson in a situation where they can do what they want and run the fast break offense, then Georgia Tech may be in for a long night. One thing to note is Clemson has some key injuries they're dealing with right now. Hunter Renfrow, the sophomore, who is a beast in the slot. He's out for, I believe, 3 to 4 more weeks with a hand injury. That's a loss. That's going to hurt Clemson. Their depth at receiver, and they depend on depth at receiver to get the offense moving in the direction that they like it to move in. They use a lot of receivers. So having anybody out is going to hurt them. That's one injury to note tonight. That could be a situation that would hurt Clemson, especially tonight. Now, how do you beat Georgia Tech? Okay, well, when you first look at the offense, they run, you say, oh, that's easy, Jameson. Stop the triple option. Well, you think that. And you want to try Georgia Tech to beat you through the air. Which, in all intents and purposes, makes you think they're not equipped to do. They're not equipped to run fast-paced offenses. Think again. They showed they can do it again. And really, BC's a bad team, but they're a good defense. They've got a really, really good defense. Very strong. So Georgia Tech was able to go 60 yards in less than, it was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. They converted a 4th and 19, a 3rd and 10 to make a comeback touchdown and win 17-14. And when you look at it, maybe the fact that they got a 3-year starter quarterback, Justin Thomas, who hit Marcus Marshall with the 81-yard touchdown against Vandy last week. They crushed Vandy 38-7. He also late in that game, their backup quarterback, Matthew Jordan, hit Clinton Lynch for a 77-yard score as well. So this is a team that can throw the football. I think tonight you'll see something to where they're going to really try to use that passing game to set up that option. And if they can control the clock, there's an outside shot at an upset. Now, one of the reasons that I think Clemson could dominate this game is not by their offense, but by their defense. They only gave up 71 yards to Georgia Tech last year, which is a huge, huge feat in that triple option because they run on everybody. But Clemson was able to do it. Now, they have lost some guys on the defensive line. They've had to make a lot of changes in some areas. Shaq Lawson, in particular, the first-round draft choice out of Buffalo, and Kevin Dodd, second-rounder drafted by the Titans. Now, it's worth noting that they still have Christian Wilkins, Carlos Watkins, and Ben Boulware still there. Dorian Nathaniel, the same linebacker, could be poised for another big day as well. He's a playmaker on this Clemson defense. And look, if Clemson's able to do half of what they did last year, Georgia Tech won't have a shot if Clemson contains their running game. That's why you can look for Georgia Tech to pass the ball more on 1st and 2nd down. Now, we know what Georgia Tech's strength is. It's that option. It makes them go. The last time they beat Clemson in 2014, just Georgia Tech defense and that rushing attack was able to do their thing. Georgia Tech's defense had 2 pick sixes. Long touchdown pick sixes. So if their defense can put that offense in good positions and that running game gets going, this, like I said, this has got a chance here. Georgia Tech's defense was able to hold Vandy scoreless. Now, I know Vandy's not a juggernaut, I get it. But they still were able to put a shutdown on it. They're athletic. They make some good plays. Now, the X factor for both teams in this game, for Clemson, is Ray McLeod, the sophomore, wide receiver, but he's actually more on special teams. He's going to be filling in for Hunter Renfrow tonight, but he's a great special teams player. He returned a punt 75 yards for a touchdown, only to, and I know the Clemson fans were irate, flip the ball for crossing the goal line. We've seen that so many times. This immature stuff. They got to come on, guys, get past the goal line. Seriously. But he's obviously shown his abilities for the big play. He's also caught 11 passes for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns in the last couple weeks. So we're going to see what kind of plays this McLeod brings and see what, they're going to need him to make some big plays tonight. Georgia Tech's X factor, you look no further than Clay Searcy. There's really nothing deceptive about this guy. He's just really, really versatile. I mean, it's kind of like he just brings his game. And he's not going to deceive you in anything. He's not going to do any kind of trickery. He just brings his game. He comes right at you. He's rushed for 99 yards on 11 carries and caught 6 for 97. This looks like one of those change of pace backs that provides depth that's going to come in and give the other Georgia Tech running backs a breather or what have you. with Marcus Marshall, Clinton Lynch, Isaiah Willis. He'll provide a breather for them. So, again, just breaking down this game. Now, one stat I wanted to give to you that, again, as I said at the beginning of the show, this is kind of it's a rivalry that goes back a while, okay? Here's something that blew me away when I saw it. Is that Clemson has not beaten Georgia Tech in Atlanta since 2003. Oh, yeah. Now, granted, 2014 had some pick sixes. Deshaun Watson actually sustained an injury in that game. But the fact of the matter is, yes, they play well in Atlanta. They do really well with Clemson in Atlanta. But, again, the key to this game is turnovers, field position, and if Clemson's defense is able to contain that running game. I mean, like I said, Georgia Tech can pass. They've shown some ability to do it, but their main strength is that running game. On offense, Georgia Tech has to corral Deshaun Watson and not let him get outside and make plays, and not let him make plays down the field. It's just guys stepping up. And if Clemson, they let Georgia Tech hang around, it could be worrisome. This game is a 9.5-point spread, 10 in some places. It's going to be a lot closer. Typically, Dabo Swinney doesn't let his teams fall victim to trap games, but guys, look, this is a team that plays well against them in Atlanta, and Clemson has Louisville. They have bigger fish to fry, so to speak. It has all the makings of a sleeper game. You have the overlook to Louisville. You have a team that plays well against Clemson. They're fired up. They're ready to go. They didn't have a letdown last week because I thought they actually would against Vandy. Looking ahead to Clemson, but Georgia Tech's primed. They're ready. Thursday night underdogs have thrived on ESPN Thursday Night Football. My prediction tonight, I'm going to go with Clemson 30 and the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets, 27. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be an exciting game to watch. And I think Georgia Tech's going to be able to contain Clemson just enough to keep it close. Let's go out. How about we go out with some ESPN college football music to finish off my little break now. Guys, again, thanks for joining the Jameson Daigle Show. Love all you guys. Watch this game. It's going to be a good one tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for Fantasy Friday. Once again, you've been listening to the Jameson Daigle Show.